Hello and welcome, Libra. All right, so Libra, hopefully everybody is well out there. All right, so keep in mind, guys, this is a general reading, so not everything may resonate with your situation, and that's okay. Just take what does and leave the rest behind. I do encourage you, if this doesn't resonate, to check out your other signs, whether it's sun, moon, or rising. Okay. All right, so we have the World card, we have the Five of Cups, we have the Ten of Swords, we have the Ace of Coins coming out, and one more. Let's go one more for Libra. The Lover's card. All right. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Coins. So there could be some, kind of slow progress, but, of course that slow progress is also steady progress. So keep that in mind as well. All right, so Libra, taking center of your reading is the World card. I'm trying to get everything. I do feel like with this World card, there is a cycle that's coming to an end. This could be within a partnership, which is kind of what I'm feeling. For the majority of you, it is a partnership. It just feels like things are kind of coming to an ending, like I said. It does feel like there could be a new beginning possibly, but I feel like you're having to kind of let go of the situation right now. With the Five of Cups, I do feel there's a lot of pain involved, a lot of regret, a lot of, missing this person, mourning for this person, mourning for the relationship. The Three Cups down here are, kind of broken, shattered, spilled over, but there's two cups behind her that she's not acknowledging. And see how she's kind of, just like holding her head. Yeah, it just really feels like she's taking this relationship, this breaking up kind of hard. And I say excuse me, my allergies, because I'm referring to the picture on the card. But like I said, with the Ten of Swords, I do feel like there is an ending here. There is a lot of, like I said, a lot of pain, almost betrayal. I keep getting that one doesn't want to believe like it's over. I keep getting that, like, trying to protect yourself or like not wanting this to end, like you're trying to fight against this. Yeah, because I keep getting, like I said, trying to like either stop this or just fight against it. Okay, with the Ace of Coins, though, I am seeing you guys going towards a new beginning. And with the Lover's card, I do feel like there's a choice that needs to be made here, whether going on or staying here. Letting go of the situation and moving on is what I keep getting. It does feel like this connection, there's a lot going on within this connection, though. Let's go ahead and clarify, starting just from the left to the right here. So, Ten of Swords. Okay. All right. So, Three of Pentacles is actually turned upside down. So, it is in reverse. So, just showing me kind of a delay going on. With the Two of Pentacles, this is kind of showing me that, somebody who's kind of juggling, again, not wanting to let go, not wanting to believe the situation is over. So they're not letting go. They're just kind of juggling. Like, do I move forward? Should I stay here? Should I wait for this person? What if they reach out? What if it's not over? I keep feeling, like I said, it going kind of back and forth, again, kind of that juggling, feeling. With the Three of Pentacles coming out in reverse, that is telling me, like I said, this can be worked on. Because I wasn't feeling like this was completely over, although I feel like it's over for right now. But I do see this person coming back in the future. It's not going to be the immediate future, but I do see this person coming back in the future. And it feels like they're going to want to work on things, but just not right now. With the Empress, I am getting that growth. I am getting a new beginning, which is, I think, where you're headed now. Okay. So, going on to the Five of Cups, let me shuffle some more. We have the Knight of Swords and we have the Sun card. Okay, so I do feel like somebody is really trying to almost take control of the situation, you know, really kind of come in with an action, like, you know, let's try to fix this. Let's do this. You know, we can be happy again. But I'm just not seeing it right now. I'm not feeling it for the other person, and I'm not seeing it for you. I just feel like there's some lessons that need to be learned here. And someone is I'm getting like someone is kind of running from the lessons, while the other one is starting to see things clearly. Starting to see like what they need to do. All right, so clarifying the World card, we have the Chariot, we have the Three of Cups, and we have the Judgment card. So again, I am getting that unfinished business, and I am getting a possible, you know, reconciliation. I'm just not getting it anytime soon. With this particular Chariot card, I do feel like, you know, like I said, there is a delay. I do feel like there is a closing of this cycle, but also going into something new where you're supposed to go. I do feel like this is a learning experience right here that we have going on currently. But again, in your immediate future, you know, going into, yeah, I'm getting a new beginning. Like I said, it feels like, you know, this person really kind of triggered something within you to where, you know, you definitely had to learn something from them, and vice versa. It feels like they're definitely learning something from you as well. But like I said, it does feel to me like there is some unfinished business with this person. Yeah, I am also getting like somebody is starting to kind of focus on themselves. I feel like you've really put a lot into this relationship, a lot into your person, and you've kind of, you know, not let go of yourself, but it's like you kind of put your dreams, your wishes, your hopes kind of like on the back burner. So it's like it's time to kind of examine those. All right, so with the Ace of Coins, there we go. We've got that Eight of Wands, we've got the King of Cups, and we've got the 10 of Wands. So even though a new beginning is a struggle for you, it's that emotional mastery. It's, you know, getting your emotions kind of in check, you know, really kind of accepting things. And, you know, again, like I said, learning from this, using this as an experience to learn from and definitely to grow from. With communication, I do see this, I'm sorry, not communication, Eight of Wands. I do see this, you know, kind of moving forward quickly. You know, going towards, like I said, this new beginning. Yeah, but I still feel like as far as communication from them, I do feel like it's going to be delayed because I do feel like they are they're withholding communication. For some of you, I guess you could even be blocked, is what I keep getting. Or maybe you have them blocked right now, but yeah, there's definitely no communication going on. Huh. All right, let's check out the Lovers. All right, so we have the Moon card. We have there's a King of Swords. And then we have the Hermit. Okay. So there is, like I said, some confusion here, especially over the connection. I do feel like, you know, it wasn't easy for this person to let go or to walk away. I do feel like they feel the connection between the two of you. They do want this connection between the two of you, Libra. However, something with timing possibly. Yeah, there's like a lot of confusion. This person's not seeing things clearly, so they kind of had to take a step away, really kind of focus, do some soul searching for what they truly want, because they're not sure if this connection is what they really want. I do get, like I said, this person does want to come back in. They do want to be truthful. You know, have that open, honest, you know, communication, definitely lay everything out on the table. However, like I said, with them not being able to see things clearly themselves or really know truly what they want, they can't do that for you yet. I know that's what you want, you know, Libra, or, you know, again, this could be your person. Again, you know, general reading, take it how it resonates. But I do feel like, you know, that is what somebody definitely wants here is, you know, just some truthful, honest communication, like just let's clear some things up. But it's like the other person cannot give you that right now. And that's just because, like I said, they need to do some soul searching themselves because there's a lot of confusion here. There's a lot of confusion about this connection. There's a lot of confusion, I think, about their own healing, about their own path, about what they want. I think they struggle with security, with trust issues. I think they also struggle with their own emotions. I don't think they've had very many healthy relationships in the past. This could stem something from childhood or just, again, their own like adult relationships. I just don't feel like they've had a lot of steady, secure, stable relationships. So even though there is room to grow in this connection, I just don't feel like your person can do that with you right now. They can't give you what you want. They can't give you what you expect or what you need. And I think they know that. And that's why they kind of had to take a step away. They had to just do, like I said, kind of figure some things out as far as like, where are they going? Where is this connection going? Can they do this? Because overall, I'm getting like they just don't want to disappoint. So in a way, it's kind of selfish, but then in a way, it's kind of like they're protecting you or something, So I get that. Okay. All right. So yeah. So we have the card of love yourself first. So, again, I'm kind of getting that's for both of you. I feel like both of you, like I said, have a lot to learn from this particular connection. I do feel like this connection is very important in your path, in your life journey for both you and for your person. You can label it, however you want to, whether it's a soulmate, whether it's a twin flame connection. But I'm just getting, like I said, a very important soul connection, very important soul bond between you and this person. Because like I said, it does feel like you're triggering a lot of healing within one another. With love yourself first, I do feel like I said, this is, for both of you, you need to love yourself first, your self-respect, confidence, things like that. And your person as well needs to take the same advice. On the bottom of the deck, we do have forgiving and learning. So I do believe, like I said, this person is going to come back not in the near future or immediate future, excuse me. But they are going to be coming back, and the situation is going to definitely require some truthful, honest communication, which I do believe at that point they will be able to give you. But it's also going to take, like I said, a lot of forgiving and a lot of learning on both parts. So remember, it's all about releasing and healing the past. Okay. Okay, so we have close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. So yeah, like I said, definitely going through a lot of hurt, a lot of, pain, especially with that 10 of Swords, and then that 5 of Cups. I mean, that's a lot of sadness. That's a lot of hurt, a lot of betrayal, a lot of just, like I said, grieving here. So definitely, like I said, there's some forgiving, there's some learning, there's some loving yourself first, that self-love that needs to really kind of take place before you can move on. But this is, like I said, a new beginning for you too, and closing out, ways of like old ways of thinking, old ways of being or doing, certain things, whatever the case is, and going into something new for you. So I do believe, like I said, this new cycle that's coming in is going to bring about a lot of transformation and a lot of change. All right, bottom of the deck. We do have my beloved. So though we may be physically apart spiritually, we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Beautiful. All right. I want one more card just to see what your person is thinking. This is like your message from your person. All right. So if it is meant to be, it will be. Baby, just let it be. Okay. Somebody else got this. Oh gosh, I can't remember if it was Aquarius or Virgo. Maybe even Taurus. I'm not sure. One of those signs got this. So if you're dealing with either one of those signs, I think it was Aquarius or Virgo. But yeah, definitely letting you know, like I said, if it's meant to be, it will be. So just let things be, let things unfold how they're supposed to, let things go how it's supposed to. So I'm going to push this over here. We're going to get some charms. I am too lazy to bring out my tray. Okay, so we have a few. Beautiful. And it seems like the same sign that got this card of let it be, or if it's meant to be, it will be, also got the same charm, but I'm not 100%. All right, so we do have the charm of love inside the infinity symbol. So again, just kind of saying that, what's meant to be is always going to be. It's always going to find a way. Even if you two are apart, like miles away, across the world, whatever, you're always going to find your way back to this situation, back to this person. We have the little bullseye, so definitely saying that something is on target, something is, kind of going the way it's supposed to. What is this? All right, so we've got the little karate guy. I don't know if you guys can make that out. But this is definitely telling me, again, this person is a fighter, so are you. There's strength here. There's also balance. There's also a lot of discipline, within your personalities. And this is just, like I said, another obstacle to kind of overcome, but it's also a beautiful chance to learn from this and to grow from this experience. Even though it's painful and it hurts like heck right now, I realize that. But, like I said, down the road, this is going to teach you something major and you're going to acknowledge it. Okay. Excuse my allergies. They're like terrible today. All right. So we have the little airplane. So again, I am getting that there could be some kind of distance between the two of you. And not just because you're separated, but I do mean like, physical distance. Somebody could be traveling. Somebody could actually be working in the air industry or getting like a pilot's license, something along those lines. We also have the moon. So again, this is talking about a lot of confusion. Yeah, so definitely talking about, like I said, a lot of confusion here. But it's also, I keep getting like, significant of like actually, like timing things. So like when you see like the next crescent moon could be, a time frame for, maybe that's when this happened, or maybe that's when communication will be coming in. But I'm also getting, it's the start of, like I said, a new beginning. It's, something of also a symbol of like, releasing things. I'm releasing this pain, releasing this hurt, releasing this betrayal, things like that. So like I said, that is another symbol that's coming across for me. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so very much. If you are on Facebook, be sure to check me out. I did make a new page for Pisces Intuition, actually first page, but I'm there, and I'm also on Instagram. If you guys are interested, like I said, drop a follow, drop a like, whatever you want to do. I do post readings on both platforms, and I will be posting some specials, especially ones available for Tuesday and possibly Wednesday. I haven't decided how long to make the special, but yeah, definitely check those out. Check those out and keep your eyes open for even more specials to come. And thank you guys so very much, and take care.